Hello, welcome back. In today's episode, we are going to continue with our project. So in our previous episode, we looked at creating the sidebar and putting all these icons and implementing the collapsible menu we did in the previous, and we also managed to create pages for some of these items we created onto the sidebar. Okay, so since then I just modified one thing. If you check, I added this scroll, and I'm just going to start by showing you how I added this scroll bar. Okay, let me first go back to the dashboard. I added this scroll so that if the items are there are many, we can slide to see all of them. Okay, that's what I added onto this. So if you check what I did, it is actually one line of code. If you just go to components, back office, and you go to sidebar. So on the sidebar, if you check on top here, okay, just go to the beginning of return here, and the only thing I just added was this overflow y scroll, as simple as that. So simply just add this overflow y scroll. Okay, overflow y scroll. So this is what you simply add on. Okay, so if you add on, you will get a scroll bar like this, but now this scroll bar won't be looking like this. Okay, so one more thing I added onto this scroll bar is some CSS, some custom CSS. Okay, you can just go ahead and add this custom CSS. You can say this scroll has a different look, and the same thing here. You can see this affects all the scroll bars. Okay, so if you want to see the scroll bar, just go to the main CSS. So I added these few lines. Okay, so the first thing is the width of the scroll bar, and you can target it at WebKit scroll bar, just like this. Okay, WebKit scroll bar, and you give it like 10 pixels, and this will make this scroll bar 10 pixels. Now the one you're having right now is big, so just add like 10 pixels, and there was no way how to set this using how to use Tailwind to do that. I just used the custom CSS. Okay, then you can change the track, which is like you can just give it this color of white. Now the track is that they leave behind. If you just look at that, that is the track. Okay, so we have the track and we have the scroll by itself. So the track, I gave it a background color of this. You could just like change it to any color you want. And then we have the handle. Now this is the one that we scroll. This one you hold here and you move up and down. This is the one I gave this the border radius. Now border radius, that's why you see it's sort of like rounded at the top. Okay, and then a handle on hover, you can just see here we have this hover. When you hover it, it has this how it changes the color. Okay, so that is so far the code that is there. Okay, so one more thing that I added some more I think 2 links or 3. So the first one I added, we had already markets, we had farmers, we had orders, stuff. So the first one I added was this Limi community. Okay, I added Limi community as a link. Okay, I can show you in the sidebar itself. So if you just go back to the back office, you go to sidebar, and let's go back to the links. So you can see we had all these links. Okay, we have orders, then we have our stuff. So you can see I added one more link here down, which is Limi community, and they added it giving this building. Okay, and then I also added wallet. This is going to hold like the payments, so I added this wallet. Okay, this wallet is going to be like if you made some sales, whether you're a farmer or what, you will have your payments in the wallet. And I think those are like the two links I added onto the sidebar. Okay, and that's all. There's nothing else I added. Okay, so that's it. And I went ahead and created them pages. So if you just go on back office here, go to dashboard, and you see that on the dashboard I have the community link. Okay, which is just like this page here, the community, and then I have also the wallet, and then I have the its page here. Okay, and that's the only thing that I've done so far. And I want to thank those who have subscribed. Okay guys, you give me the morale to continue pushing and creating more content. Thank you so much if you have subscribed. If you haven't, please subscribe and make sure to hit the like button, please, because YouTube supports the video to move. So I would like you to right now first pause and smash the like button. Okay, so moving on in what we are going to do today. So we have a lot to do. Okay, we have a lot to do, but today what I think is we are going to work on the forms. Okay, what makes the form. And then one more thing I want to change is on the sidebar is a little bit like it is like more shiny this side. I don't know if you guys realize that on the sidebar. I'm just going to go back to the back office sidebar. So I want to change like some few things. One is I feel like the background should be 800. Let me first see 800. Okay, and then the text should be slate like 100. So just try 100. 100 text slate. BG in the dark mode we have text slate 100. Even here, just change this to 100 and we see how this one now looks like. About 200. Like just the I don't know if this is changing or not. Is it changing? Let me make just like 300. Yeah, I think like 300 is more suitable. Let's first see 400. I just look at 400. Okay, I think the 300 was okay. Just take it back to 300. Yeah, so just like make it 300. Like right now at least is not too shiny the way it was, and the background, let's also keep it that we keep it at that. Okay, much better. So another thing we are going to do was So working on the pages, so you have all these pages, the customers, markets, farmers, orders, staff. We have all these pages, the catalog pages, and all that kind of stuff. So we have to work on to these pages, and the important enough, we have to find the easiest way how to do this. And more especially, you know me, you have seen how I like reusing the code. We have to find the best ways of reusing some of these things so that we get the forms running, because in the e-commerce and even most systems, the most important thing, like, you have a lot of working forms that are going on, basically forms and tables. Okay, if you can sort all these forms and tables, you have the system running, because they're the basic things, how you display that data and how you edit the data and you do all that kind of stuff. Okay, so we start like the basic layout. If you go back to our master layout here, and you go to catalogs and you go to categories, maybe you will see that the structure is going to be the same. So you have this title. Okay, so you have this title, and then you have this button, the export and import. I think we will have only like the export button. I don't think we will have the import button, but we can have the export, or we can just put them both there, but I don't think we will just implement both of them. But we can have like the export. I think it is very possible to do the export Excel. Okay, you could have export Excel, or even export to PDF or something like print. I think we can just like try to put export and then like print. Okay, and then decide you have this add category, and then there is also bulk delete. So you can see here, if you select all of them, you see like this bulk delete gets activated. If I just like come here and you see this update, that is like when you want to update all of them, but we're just going to have like this bulk delete is okay. We can have the bulk delete, but now we have to see how to make all these buttons be in one line. Okay, so we have like, we'll have the header. Okay, this is the heading, and then we'll have the action. So I feel like we'll have this, then we have the search, and then we have these all these actions. Okay, we'll have all these actions. So this is going to be the same for most of them. Okay, well, you have like bulk delete, and then you have like add whatever you are adding, and takes you to the new page. Okay, and yeah, so that's the, and then you have the table. Okay, and then you have the table, and of course you have this the category page. So you have the category page, which will also have the update page. Okay, so basically when you go back to the dashboard and you go, for instance, under catalog, and you go, for instance, under categories, so this page here we are seeing here, this one is going to be the one holding the table. So this will have the header, and then down there is going to hold also the table. Okay, it will have the table. Okay, and then inside here we'll have two folders. The one will be for creating a new. Okay, I could just create actually a new file, and then you say, for instance, new, and then inside you create page.jsx. So this one will create a folder and a file inside. Okay, so just like say RFC. Okay, and this is the new category, say new category page. Here I'm just going to put h2 new category, just like that. And then we'll have another one for the update, so we'll have another file, and you can say update. Now this one will be tricky. Inside here we'll have to update a specific, we can use Slug, we can just use Slug or ID, whatever we want. Okay, they just use ID. And then we have page.jsx inside, and then I'm just going to do RFC, and this is update category, update the category. Okay, so here is h2 update category. Okay, so this is going to be the structure for all pages. Okay, I want you to look at this structure very carefully. Okay, and just okay, so let's just move on. So I was saying, I want you to take a close look at this syntax. So we have the categories, then we have the new, meaning you can create a new category, and then we have the update, meaning you can update a specific category. Okay, so if you just go ahead and now just look at the structure right now, you can just go, for instance, to categories. Okay, so here is where we are going to display the table for the categories, and then when I add on, I can add on new, and this will be making me create a new category, or I can go to update. Okay, and then you go to update itself, you will have an error. This one is 404, but when you say update a specific ID, so if you just pass in any number here, like maybe 2 or 1, now you see that that page actually exists, so we'll be updating onto this, and this is the pattern we are going to use onto all pages. Okay, we are going to use the same pattern, and it is the same pattern we use it when we're just like doing the inventory management. So those ones who did it, and by the way, if you have not watched inventory management, you can just check it out. Most of the concepts you are going to use, will be building some of them using the knowledge we had from some of those ones. Okay, so we are going to build all these things in this format. Okay, so now when you just go to, when you go to this this part here, as we said, it will have a header, and the header is going to involve in where is it, here. So we have this title, okay, and then down we have this search. So I feel like, for instance, this button of the filter is not needed, these two here, so I'm just going to compensate with this. So I will remove this. I have the search. Okay, I will have the search. I will have this one of the buttons on the left, and then I will have this also the delete, and then we have the add. So you have this bulk delete. Okay, we can only show it when all these ones are selected, and we can just maybe hide it. There is no need to show it if these ones are not selected, or if one is selected, there is no need of actually, just like you can actually check one and delete it. Okay, yeah, you can check all and delete. So we're just going to have this, also the functionality of checking and then deleting all of them. Okay, so now what we're just going to do is I'm just going to go here on this tables. Okay, so you can just go here where we have, okay, there's where we have table search. So you can see here we have this sort of the search button. Then we have this where we have the filter. Of course you have this one where we have the checked. Okay, you have all these table with models. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy the search. Okay, so just come here. Where is it? So I feel like the search should be attached to the table. Okay, so let me just see here. Just going to modify a little bit. So this category add, I will have this header here, which is having this add new. Okay, so if we quickly checks, let's just first quickly check here. I'm just going to quickly check on the inventory management. Or do I have the link? Let me just first check the hosted version of the inventory management. We look at how we did that. Okay, let me just try to log in. I think we had a user of test. Just going to log in and try to create just on this, just look at the categories actually. So just a new category. Okay, so you see here we have it, not actually this side, here. Okay, so here we had the table, we have the title, and then we have the new. Okay, and then we can have all these other things down here with this table. Okay, so we'll have this top, the header. Okay, we'll have the header that is having, so if you check here, we'll have this title plus this button onto the header. So I'm just going to go to this page. So this is the one which is supposed to have the header. So onto the header I'll have the flex. Okay, so you have the flex, and on the left I have the heading. So we already have this sort of the heading. Okay, we have the heading component, and it takes in the title, which I'm just going to provide here. I mean, you can just hover it here and says it takes in a title. So I'm just going to say title. Okay, and the title is going to be, okay, categories. Okay, and then on the other side we'll have the button, and I think that link we should create it as a component. This one, you can see this, really it needs to be created as a component so that we don't just create it all the time. Okay, I'm just going to create it and then I just turn it into a link. So just add here a link from next link. Okay, and this one is going to be having a plus icon, so I'm just going to say plus from roasted react, and then here you just add like a span saying add category. Okay, and then of course we have the link itself, the href. Okay, of course this one is going to be taking to whatever it is. If it is category, so it will be like dashboard. So this one will be taking like, for instance, dashboard. Then it takes in the name, category, or categories, actually categories, and then it takes in new. Okay, so we have this this link here, and just like that. So you can just come and just see how this looks like. I'm just going to go catalog, categories. Okay, so we have this, we have a category and this. So first of all, just add some classes here. First is justify between. Okay, and 2 is having this one as a flex. So just go and add the class name here and say flex items center, and let's say space x3. Okay, so if you do that, we'll have this one coming this side. Okay, great. Now we will have to have this having the styles. Okay, so we could just go and get the easily here. If we want to do this, we just go to flow by, go to where we have the type in here button. Okay, can just type in button here, and when you just go here, they have we have a lot of different buttons. Okay, you can see you have these normal buttons. You can just continue scrolling. There is these buttons. If you continue scrolling, you see these gradient buttons. Okay, we have even these ones, the one which has this, and then we have the ones which have icons. Okay, I think I'm just going to take one of these which has the icons. Okay, so just like choose any of this, and the only thing I'm interested in are the styles of the button. Okay, I'm just going to go this which has sign in with Twitter. Okay, so sign in with Facebook, and then like this one. I'm just only interested in the styles, so just like simply copy this. And the styles, the good thing with them is that they have somehow the dark mode. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this, and if you just go back this side. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to this, give it a class name. Now I could just like simply replace this. We'll first see how this is going to look like. So you have all this, the BG, they are putting their own color, so you can just come wherever there is this color here. Okay, just you can use Ctrl D this time. Okay, There is one thing I'm not selecting. Select the whole of it, just like that. Control D, Control D, Control D. And they have different stuff, but so I'm just going to try BG. I'm just going to use line. Okay, and I'm just going to say 600 maybe, and then just look at it. So we have BG line 600, then hover, then we have all these stuff. Let's just first look at this, what we get here. Okay, so you can see not looking bad at all. Okay, the only thing we can just add is I can add some text. Let me say font medium. I just want to see the text. Okay, we just say something like text XL, and then I don't think why we need this margin bottom. You can remove the margin bottom, and then we can add space, the space between them. Let's first see. We can just add a little bit of space, and then maybe here this one just make it 3, and then we can add what can we add? We can add space x3. This one should be text. We would have like this text SM, but I just have text XL and C. Okay, seems like too big. Okay, so there is text SM, text extra small, text base. Remove this. Just look at it. Okay, so this looks okay. This really looks okay. So you can just go with this, and I hope like this one changes. I think can simply so work in light mode. Okay, so this I think we particularly work. Now we could just make this a different color. Okay, the way we did for the inventory, this one could be a different color, but I just keep it just like that, having the add. The only thing I can just add maybe to this whole thing, we could just like add border bottom maybe, and we could just say border slate maybe 500. Okay, you could just like add a border. I don't know if it's really necessary, and then we can have like padding y of 4. I don't think it is necessary. They just remove it. They just have this. Just remove it. It is not necessary at that point. So we have this header working properly. The only thing, if you click it, you see you go to new category, which is really great. Okay, okay, so it is working properly. Now what you just need is to add now this part which has the search. Okay, just scroll this out. We're just going to have to add a part which has a search. This part here which has a search, so we already have now this up here. So we'll have the search, we'll have this export, and then we have the search. Yeah, so that one we're just going to work out. And then we can also have maybe this bulk delete thing. Okay, so I'm just going to go down here, minimize this, and this one I'm just going to make it a component. I'm just going to actually do that right now. So this is going to be the maybe quite, I don't know, page header or something. Okay, we can just say page header. So in the back office, I'm just going to come here, new file, and first of all, let me just first copy this, come to the back office and say page okay, the page header.jsx and rfc. Okay, and then I'm just going to return this. Okay, so you are returning this here. Now take a note, we have these headings, so import this. Okay, and now if you think about it, what is going to take is going to take in the title. Okay, which is going to be the title here. Okay, and then it is going to take in this href. Okay, so just put here href, and so this href is going to come here. And then it's going to put in the, so we have the title, and then we could of course use here this title. Maybe this one we'll call it the heading. Let's just call this heading, and then I'm just going to say title, so this is going to be the link title. So just get this and let's add it here. Link title. Okay, so and that's it. So just going to call this with these three things: the heading, the link title, and the href. So just go with the page title, whatever we are using it here. So remove this and say page title. Page header. And let's pass in the heading. So you can pass in the heading, then we can have the href. So the href is this one. Then finally you can just have the link title. So we can have the link title as add category. So you say add category, and then the heading is just categories. So this should remain exactly the way it is. Title is not defined. I just see here, oh, we changed it. So here we changed this we changed it to heading. Okay, link is not defined, so just get this link from next link. Then plus icon, just get this icon. Okay, okay, so we still have the same exact thing, but now this is like, okay, so that is great. So down here we're just going to add now the section on the table, whereby we're just going to have that the search and all that kind of stuff. So here where we have the table here, we're just going to have that the table, maybe we call them table actions. I'm just going to call them table actions. Table actions. If guys, you notice today I'm not having good energy, I'm not feeling so much well, but even though I decided to still make the video, I'm not feeling so much good, but I will try to manage slowly, and we'll try to make this tutorial. So we have the page actions, which is going to be having three things. So we expect to have the left, the export button. So we have the export, then we have the search, okay, and then we have the, so here we have the search, and then the third one we have is the bulk actions. So here we have the delete, like most people say the bulk delete or the delete itself, where someone selects one item. Of course we'll have also the delete on these actions here, but then there is this when someone selects here, or he selects one, okay, so long as he selects using this checkbox, he can delete using this, or he can delete using this. Okay. Okay, that's good. So just also go ahead and add those ones. Okay, so I'm just going to make a div dot padding y of 4 dot bg slide of maybe 700. Okay, and of course rounded. Okay, just a second. Okay, just let's move on. Just today I got some sort of interferences, but let's just continue. So we have this export button, we have the search bar and the bulk delete. So here we'll have the button, okay, the export button here, and then down here we have the search. Okay, so here we have the search, and then down here we're just going to have the delete. So let me just put the also a button, so just a button, not in caps, so just a button, and then here is delete. Of course here we're just going to use the trash, so just say trash, not trans, trash. Okay, we can just use the trash too, or trash. Let's just see this, how the trash looks like. So yep, so we have these. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and give it a padding y of 6, px of 8. Okay, so we have that, and then I'm just also going to give it justify between, and then let's have the search. So you can just go here. I'm just going to go here and let's grab the search. So go to table, so you could just grab the table or the search. You could just go here and you just say just go back to the table. Just go back to Frobite, and then just let's get the search. So I'm just going to head back here, and I just need to grab the search. Just go to this, to the table with a search. You can scroll in these ones and say table search. Okay, what we need here is just simply grabbing only the search, and probably would have searched for the, so we have this label search, and then this input. So I'm just going to grab this, and just let's have a look. Table with search. Okay, this search here. So just need that part of the search. Okay, so this part here, from we have this, then we have this, so this part here. Okay, so down here I'm just going to have after this, just put this div, and for the input just put this slash here to make it okay. And then here we're just going to get the search icon. We can just check on lucid. Okay, I'm just going to come here and say search. So there is an icon for this search. We could just even leave this. Let's first see how this looks like. Okay, just going to sort this in a second, but this one looks okay. But just put our icon, we give it the same thing here. I'm just going to copy this class, even cut it, and then remove this svg, and we just give it here search. Okay, and then just give this class name, give class name like that, and replace all these. While you are seeing class, replace class equals Ctrl F, Ctrl H, replace with class name. Okay, and just click here to replace everything. Okay, now for this, which is having this bg here, if you check on it, now for the forms, you can see how our forms look like this. We're just going to install the Tailwind forms. So let me just go and check in our packages if we don't have it. So we haven't done anything to do with the forms, so just go to the browser to make this one look right. Just go to the browser and let's search at Tailwind forms. So just search at Tailwind forms, and just go to this GitHub link, and just scroll down here. Let's install this. So you can just copy this and come down here on your terminal. So you can just open a second terminal, and let's install this. Okay, and then meanwhile, just copy these plugins. Okay, just copy this line and let's add it in plugins. Okay, so this have been installed, I guess. Let me just see. Yep, it has installed. Just go to the Tailwind config and then scroll to where we have plugins here. Just put a comma and add this plugin. Okay, so far we have 2 plugins. Okay, the other code you are seeing here, it was put by Shad, so you shouldn't worry about it. Okay, so let's go back to this, and now you can see after putting Tailwind forms, this looks great. So now we're just going to remove that there is this weird bg. We can just remove this. Okay, we can just remove this, and then what we can do is we can give it flex grow. I think flex grow, like to occupy as much width as possible. Okay, first of all, let's first give it back the bg. Just first give it bg white. I want to see its back where it is reaching. Okay, so now we we can also give the search. Okay, the search input itself here, I just give it like width, to have width of 3/4 maybe. I just wait a minute. Okay, let's just give this one instead of width 80, let's give it width 3/4. Okay, that looks great. Okay, and how about giving it let's just go back here a second and just going to use flex. Okay, item center, justify center. I see if that one is going to put in the center or so. With flex, I've introduced a new problem. Okay, let me first remove this and let's go back and see. First of all, this, let me first go up to justify. Let's first put items item center. Okay, and then let's also put some gap. Okay, we add some gap. Okay, I feel like there is something keeping this. If I just go to the search slowly, this one is supposed to be HTML4. So okay, we have margin top of 1. So we have our icon here. Okay. They just see. It feels a bit off, is not online. There is something keeping it, some sort of like margin. Let me just first put this margin off wherever we have some margin. Let me just check this input text. Let's just see if there is any margin here. And another thing is padding top. It has this padding top. I don't know why. Then this is padding inline start. This is padding top. Let me first check again. It is a little bit of padding bottom. Okay, this one. Padding bottom of 4. I think it must have been that. Yeah, so you can see now they are in line, which is great. You could increase its padding a little bit, okay, but just see, I think that is good enough. Okay, I think that is good enough. And then the px, we can just increase just like the px here we have onto this. We can just try 12. Okay, we have px of 12. Okay, and then this button we can just make it red. The delete, now this delete button is just going to be for bulk delete. And then we have this export. So export is an outline button. You can just go here a second and just go to buttons. Okay, let's get an outline button just here as well. We have these outline buttons. Okay, so just get one button, outline. I didn't want just take any of these ones, and then we just modify from that. Okay, I'm just going to take the first one. So just simply copy this class. Okay, just copy the class only, and then just go and take it to this button. Just give class name and just put these classes. Okay, and we can just go and get the export icon. So I'm just going to go here and say something like a link, maybe arrow. So you can just find here one. How about export? Okay, so you have this download. So I'm just going to go here and I add a download icon. So just say download. Okay, so you add a download, and then down here I'm just going to put a span. Okay, of export. And if you do that, this must be flex. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we have so far. Okay, it doesn't look any good. It doesn't look any good. Okay, relative, the paddings, I don't know why these paddings are not working. There's no need of this. Just have like padding y of 3 and px of 4. Okay, this overflow hidden, text base, font medium, text gray, let's first see. Let's give the space x of 3. And it's supposed to be outline. I don't know why. It seems like, did I copy the right button? Yeah, I don't know. Purple to blue. I don't know why it is not showing the outline. Text gray rounded BG. So it has this BG grounded. We just want it to have like a BG unknown circumstances BG slate, maybe 800. Okay, then just remove this, then to this, group hover. So this hover to blue, text to white. Okay, so this is what I just wanted, like the ring. Dark focus ring. I don't know what. Let's first check like if we just have like the outline buttons, what makes the outline? I think it is a border. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this border here, border blue 700, hover border this. Okay, just a border. So just add a border, as simple as that. So if we add a border now, it should be able to show us something like okay, so I don't want any hover, but I want the border. So hover BG, just remove this hover BG. Okay, so since we are using this color, we could just say border. So border is going to be border line, and I just make it 500. Yep, so that one looks great. Okay, the button looks great. Then this whole above thing needs to get a big padding. Okay, this page header, or we could just put the padding on this one. I just add like margin top of 12. This should just like have enough space. Yeah, I think that is too much also. I think that's okay, but I feel like just a second. So just go back to this page header for a second, and let's go ahead and give it padding y of 8. Okay, let's give it padding y of 8. Okay, so it pushed a little bit. Maybe they just say padding of 4 and margin bottom of 4. Okay, I think that looks much better. Okay, that one looks much better. So let's just work on this delete button. So the delete button, let's just go and see. So we have the search, of which I will also work on in a second, but let's just work on this delete button. Okay, so class name. Just going also to add the delete. So first of all, add this button, and then down here I'm just going to say span. Okay, bark delete. So this one is going to be like bark delete, and then this one just going to say flex item center space x2. Okay, and just say look at that. Okay, bark delete. Let's give it a background. So you can just say bg red, maybe 600. Let's say text white, maybe text white, and then say rounded LG. Okay, just go ahead and give it padding. So px of 4, py of 3. So just make it 6. Okay, so we have this bark delete, and then we have the search. Let's just work on the search to look somehow stand out. So first of all, this padding. So I'm just going to first work on the padding. So let's make padding 3, and just say padding y. Padding y of 3. Okay, so that one looks much better. And I'm just going to give this one to leave it with a width full. Okay, so that it finishes this entire space here. Okay, and then is there anything else? So like search items. So this one, the glow, maybe we could just change this to slate. Whatever there is blue, we could just like change it to lime. Okay, and let's see now. Okay, so you have that, and we are consistent with all our colors. Okay, so that's great. Okay, we're just going to leave it at that. So now next is going to be the table, of course. So the table would be just down here. Just going to put here the table. Okay, so for the table, we're just going to work on the table when we have actually the actual data. I feel like right now we don't need to. I'm just going to say padding y of 6, and we're just going to say table just like that. Okay, so the table is going to be down here. Okay, you can just add like some space just like that. So we'll have this kind of stuff, okay, everywhere in all the stuff. There is this header, and then there is this table, also the table actions. You can search the table, you can export, and you can do all these things. Okay, so now what you're just going to do this. Okay, this is going to be a page, the table actions. I feel like this is going to be also a component. Okay, So this is going to be a component of its own. So let me just create a table, a new file. So just here, first of all, first copy this. Okay, and then I'm just going to say table actions dot jsx. Okay, rfc. Okay, and then down here I'm just going to return this. Okay, of course remove these comments. Okay, so we have these table actions, and then for now I'm just going to export them the way they are. In the future they will be taking in some data and so many other things, but right now they just simply come here and we simply say table actions, just like that, and this shouldn't change anything. Of course we have to go the other side and put all those things we had here, these icons. Do we need even a link? But more especially the icons, just take the icons. In fact, just cut the icons. Do we need any icons here? Just take these icons to here. Let me see something else. Okay, so we are back to the way it was. So we have this. So as I said, the table is going to be worked upon later on. So what I'm just going to work on right now is designing the form. As we say, this was the major thing in this video. So just going to design the form here. So I'm just going to go to, first of all, I just want to change something in the layout. A second, the layout here, and I just want to make this to have a min height. So just say to have a min height of screen. I just like want all of them to fill the screen. So just like having here. Okay, so yeah, just like that. Okay, so now we are on to this. If I just go back to the category, you can see it has all this page. If I click here, it takes me to this page. Okay, so now onto this page is where we have to design this form to look like this. Okay, so we have this form, the form header where someone can cancel and go back, and then we have where we have this this form and this one. So first of all, we are going to have these form inputs. Okay, we are going to develop these form inputs alone. For instance, here we want the text input and this description. And by the way, if you look at the category here, if you click on add category, you can see the category is going to have the title, category is going to have a description, is going to have an image. Okay, and then one more thing is going to have, if you go here, you see that a category has a title, okay, like vegetables or fresh fruits. Okay, it can have like fresh fruit as the title, it has the image, but when you click on it, on this category, you go on the detailed page. And what do they use on the detailed page? They use the Slug. Okay, so if we're just going to design the category, so let me just go here on the new page. So what are the fields of the category? So the category will have the ID, category will have a title, category will now have a slug. From the title we generate a slug, and this slug is going to be unique so that we can use it in the link for SEO and for creating SEO friendly links. Okay, it will have the image, then we'll have description, of course, here, description. So it have title, slug, description, and then the image. So okay, so it will have these here. So these are the ones that we are going to use. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this one we don't need to put there. This one will be auto-generated from the title, so you don't need to add it on the form. So you're going to have 3 things: the title, the description, and then the image, and then the slug will be auto-generated, and the ID will be also auto-generated. So first thing we're going to do is designing this header here. Okay, we'll design this header here, which has the title and then this that X. Okay, so I'm just going to start with that new category. So I'm just going to have a flex dot items center, then dot justify between dot padding y of maybe 4, just say 6, done px of 12. Okay, then inside here I will have this, and then I will also have a button. Okay, we can have a button, or we can have it as a link. Okay, we can have it as a link, but I'm just going to first use a button. Okay, so here I'm just going to put X, and we can get X from Lucid. So far, let's see what we have. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, so we have this X this side. Okay, so that we can take a BG, and we have to go back, and sometimes we add. So here I'm just going to say BG slate, $600. I'm putting it in the button. Just cut this and put here. Okay, first I'll just call it rounded. Okay, so we have this new category, and then down here we're just going to have, so you have here this new category. Let me just give it some class. First of all, I'm just going to say to give it Excel font bold. Okay, new category, maybe font should be same bold. Just try same bold. Okay, so this is already looking great. Okay, some of the things we have to work on to this. So for instance, on so this is going to be in the dark. So Anam circumstances gave it BG slate, maybe 50. Let's just say try BG 50 and see. And then of course the text. So we have to have text slate 800, and then in dark text slate 50. Let's just see. Okay, so this is how it looks like, and we can just go this one. We actually give it BG white, okay, to make it really white, okay, for it to stand out. And I'm just going to give it just a small shadow. Okay, great. So it can just stand out like that. Okay, so in dark it's just like that. I think that is good enough. We could make it slightly, maybe 700. Okay, so that's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to have now the card. So you should have now the card, this card here you're seeing here, which is going to hold the form. Okay, this card, and we're supposed to have it down here. So now if you check onto that, we have this. You are going to find in the link, you'll find this document, this link to this card document. Now this document is going to have most of the reusable functions. We have helper functions, and then we have also the reusable form inputs. Okay, so you're just going to be finding a reference here to some of them. So if you click on form inputs, and you can see here we have reusable form components. Make sure you have installed all these dependencies, like Tailwind forms we have already installed, and we have activated the plugin. Next is going to be installing React hook forms, so you can just go and install these things here. Okay, I'm just going to say install React hook forms. So let me just go down here, just install React hook form, and then you have to install React hot toast. Okay, and then we have Roasted. We have already installed Roasted, so we have to install this hot toast. Okay, this one has finished. Just go ahead and install React hot toast, just like that, and then also just add this toaster. So you can just go ahead and add this toaster in the layout. So you can see here I said add this provider in the layout or the providers folder. Wherever you're having it, just add this. For now, let's add it in the layout. So copy it, and you can just go to any of these layouts. So you can just go, we already have the providers, by the way. We have these providers, we use it for the dark theme, so we can't just come and add it anywhere here. So inside this, you can add this like that, and this will still work. Just remember to import this toaster from React hot toaster, and that's enough. We are putting it in providers because this providers is wrapping the entire app. So if you just go in the app and you check where we have the layout, I don't know if it is this one. Yeah, so you can see how the providers, so that is very okay. Now we can start exploring some of these components. Okay, we are going to explore some of these components. So we are going to store the components here. Okay, store the form components in the components form input. So you're just going to create a folder called form inputs, and that's when you're going to put all our form input components. So for instance here, how we are going to use this. Okay, there is this form here. Okay, there is this form header, and that form header we are going to see that it is this. We are just in the new. This we have put here is going to be the form header, this one. Okay, so you can just go ahead and put this in as a component also, the form header, this one. Copy it, Ctrl C, and let's go to components, back office, and let's create a new, just a form header .jsx, and I'm just going to say RFC, and then I'm just going to return all this here. Okay, so you can, as you can see, this one takes in a title, and then we can just add this title here. Okay, so for now you leave around this back button, this one will be going back. So I'm just going to bring this form header and just put it back to this. You can remove all this, and there's just a form header, import it, and we can pass in the title saying that this is a new category. Okay, new category. Let's see, this remains. Just take all these icons, so it is only X. You can just cut it from here, and we can just take it to this here. Let's go back and see. Okay, so button X is not defined. Where did we put this? And X, we are using it here. Seriously? What is this? Okay, so we are good. So we have this new category coming, right? Okay, and it is a component. So inside here you can see we have this, and this part here in this form, let me drag it nearby. So you can see we have the form header. We're just going to work on this later on. So this is the part of where this div we have, and then we have this form header, and then we have the actual form. Okay, so I'm just going to take this actual form so that we start adding some things inside, but I'm just going to copy the form only. Actually, let me just copy the form only, the classes on the form, and let me just come here and create a form. So down after this in the page, So after this form header, I'm just going to simply add the form, just like that. And then inside here, I'm just going to paste this. There is the on submit. We can first remove this on submit, and then we're just going to save. Okay, so if we save, now we go back. So you can see we have this card that is representing this this here. Okay, so it is this card that is going to be having the form. Okay, so you can just go ahead, and if you want to increase it, you can increase its max width. Maybe you put 5. If you want to increase it to be bigger, but I think that 4 is okay. I'm just going to stick with 4. And the good thing also is already also, if you toggle it, you can see it already has the, okay, it is already looking cool. So what is needed now is to add the form inputs. Okay, what is needed just is to add these form inputs the way you see them. So let's just start with these form inputs. So we created the dynamic form inputs. If I'm to go back here, we created these dynamic form inputs as you can see them here. Okay, for instance, we have the text input, and just zoom in, maybe you just look at this right now. So if you just look at this, we are using grid to display all the, we have grid code 2 and gap of 6. So we have this is all these inputs are put inside a grid. Okay, and now inside the grid we have like this text input. Now this text input, if you look at it, I'm just going to scroll down to where we have the text input component. So here this is a text input component. So it's taking in all these things, the label, the name, register, errors is required, type, class name, and the default values. And you can just come here, you can see that here we are taking in consideration of that. We have just a normal input with a class name, and then we have a label which is HTML4. We pass in the name, then we have this class name, then we just pass in the label, and then here we are already implementing the React hook forms. If you haven't used React hook forms before, I just suggest that you first pause the video and you go through React hook forms. I have the video on my channel. You can just go and search for just React hook forms for a second. You can say React hook form. You can just search for React hook form, and this video is there. Okay, here React hook form here, and we used it in a very interesting way. So the video is there for React hook forms. You can just go and check it out if you are not familiar with React hook forms. Otherwise, I'm just going to explain about it. Uses the register, this register function, and even this register function we are passing it in as a prop. You can see it comes as a prop. Okay, and then we can just use it here, register, and can take in all these things. And then we have also the errors. We take in consideration of the errors that have been caught, and then we render them here. Okay, yep. So now after getting this, I'm just going to go and create this text component. So copy this. I'm just going to minimize, go to components, and I'm just going to create text input. So I'm just going to say form components, in fact form inputs, form input stroke text input .jsx. So this will create a folder, and then inside it will just create this. Let me minimize. Okay, so you can see you have form inputs, and inside you have text input. So just say rfc, in fact just paste. Okay, so this is the text input, and it takes in the label, name, register, errors, is required type, and the class name. Okay, and everything here is just pretty nicely done. When you pass in the class name, by default is having the correspond to, and then it is passed in here, and then we have the label. Okay, we have this label, and then this label is have the HTML, and you can just simply pass in here. Okay, and you can just go through and pass in, but just like simply creating a text input component that we can reuse. So if I just go back to the form on the new here, so down here inside this form, inside this form, let's just have a look at the form. There is something with not just gate. So one thing you have to make sure that these ones, these ones are in a grid, so we have to have this grid. Okay, so just come here inside here, and let's have dot. I put these classes, and then inside here we can put the form input. So you can say text input, just like that, and you can start giving it some of these required stuff, and the most required ones are just like these ones. The minimum ones you can give it the label, for instance category title, the name, which is the title, and then the register. Now this register function comes from React Hook Forms. So on top here we can just go and say const, and then we can extract some things. We can extract, for instance, the register function. We can extract the errors. We can extract what else? And these ones, they will come from use form. Okay, so this hook comes from the React Hook Forms, and these errors are on the form state. Okay, so these are on the form state, the errors. We destructure them to get these errors. So you have the register function, and another function is handle submit. So you have these two functions, the register and handle submit, from the use form. Okay, so after doing this, now you can just go ahead and pass in the register and the errors. So you can see these two. So if we check now on the UI, we shouldn't have any problems right now after passing the register function. Let's just wait a minute and see. Okay, so this one has to be use client. So when you bring in this, we have turned this into a use client. So just on top here, just write use client. Okay, Okay, so right now this is okay, but it looks very much terrible. It looks like it's not inside the form, is it? Okay guys, this is supposed to be inside the form. Just cut this and let's put everything inside the form and let's check again. Okay, so this is great. Now the problem we have, let's first put in light mode. In light mode this looks great, although in this dark mode it looks somehow terrible, more especially with the titles here. So just go to this text input and make some changes, more especially with, first of all, our label. So it has text gray, and this one's supposed to be only in the light, so in dark. So in dark, let's say text slate 50. Okay, it's supposed to be white. Okay, that looks great. Then I think on focus, here on focus we should give this as we gave the other one. We can change this, wherever there is blue we can change this to lime. Just change this to lime. 500. And then the padding, I just want to change the padding to 3. Let's look at the change. Okay, so we have this as a text input. You can enter the title, okay, the category name, and this was put back in this light mode. Okay, so we have here we can type in this. Now clearly we can just go ahead and test out some other things, like putting the on submit. So it is good we set up the async function on submit, and then on submit we just pass in the data, and then we can just have this like this. And this on submit function, in the form here we have on submit. Now we call a function called handle submit, which comes from the React hook form, where we pass in this on submit. Okay, so this is how it works. We pass in the handle submit, we pass in the on submit function, and now at this point we can just go ahead and say console.log data, and let's see if we are able to get this data. And let's first go and look at our form, the one we have in this side of Duster. So in the dark mode, it has, instead of having the background of white, you see it has a background same as the other one, and it looks great. And even the text here, so just change to that. Just going to put in dark. First of all, we just need to change that card. We could just change this this form. Here we have dark BG gray 800. Let's first see the background we have. So the background we have is more dark. We could just change this one to, I don't know if this 700, it would be okay. It would be looking like the other on top. I just stick to first leave it at that. The only thing I just want to add is these text inputs. Let's just go to the text input where we have the background white. So we have this first say, so here we have say in the dark BG, we could even just say BG transparent. It only remains with the border. Let's see. Yeah, so you can just see we have it transparent, and then let's just stick to this the ring. The ring we can just make it slate. Slate 50. They just first see slate 50. That is too much. I just make here 500, slate 500. Yeah, I think that one is much better. So if you just like typing in, now the color has to change. Okay, so in the dark text, maybe slate 100. Okay, so that is great. Let's turn to white, to light mode, and we see in the light mode, do we need to change this? The color is okay, but then this focus, we can just change this ring. So this one we only apply it in the dark. Then let me just write, under normal circumstances you could just have this focus ring, and maybe let's try the line thing. Let's just see. It feels so, I think so much. Just try slate. Yeah, slate maybe 500. Just like stick with that, so that it doesn't really become so much. Or if you wanted to use lime, we could just say lime, and then we try 900. I think this is more of dark colors. Yep, so this looks more dark. Yeah, I just move with this. Okay, so we have that. Now we just need to add a button. Okay, so we have the submit button, so that we can submit also. So I'm just going to scroll down, and you will find the submit button. You just scroll down, text area, input, select input. There is a submit button here. Okay, so just come to the submit button. So I'm just going to copy this code and just go to the let's go to the components, from input. So where we have these from inputs, I'm just going to create submit button. So submit button.jsx, and let's paste this. and this is the submit button. And basically what it is doing, it is having the loading state. Okay, and then takes in the title. I think we might just also change these titles to 2 titles, because we have this saving title and then we have this save the title. Sometimes you might just want to change this completely, so we might just change the button the button title. Just going to change these to 2. So we'll have here this as button title, so button title, and the loading button title. So you have the 2 buttons. There is one which is just like a normal button, and then there's another one which is loading. So I'm just going to scroll here, remove this, and just say button title. And then this one I'm just going to also remove all this. Okay, and then I just add like loading button title. Okay, so we'll be now passing in these 3, and but basically this is just like a button. While it is loading, we display a disabled button. Okay, and while it is okay, we just put the submit button. As simple as that. We have 2 buttons. When the button is submitting data, we just want to show the disabled button, and while it is just like under the form and is okay, we just show this the button of type submit. As simple as that. So with that, I'm just going also to use this button in the form. Okay, so let me just go here. So we have the submit button is loading, and we could just like give this some default. So default, of course, this one is false. Okay, is loading is false all the time. So at first we can just give it just like a something to use. So down here I'm just going to simply come and I put the submit button. So just put submit button, and let's pass in the 2 titles. So you can just say, first of all, we can just say is loading, and for now just set it false. You can set to false, and then we have another one which is the button title. Okay, we have the button title, and then we have the loading button title. So button title here, I'm just going to say just a create category, or can I say save category? I just say create category, and then the loading, just say here creating category, please wait, and we can just pass it in the 3 dots. Okay, so this button, everything should be now able to work. We just go back. So here we just want to see a button. So okay, you can see the button, and we're just going to change this button to the, maybe we could just change this to some color. I just feel like in this case, in the white mode, we can make it black. Let me just go to the submit button. Okay, so And let's first see, even in the dark it remains the same button, but I want to change that. Let me start with the actual button, this one. First of all, I want to slightly change this to padding Y of 3. Okay. Then we have text white. Then can remain. So we have dark BG blue. So this one I want it just to be like slate. Okay, and just we want to make it 900. Okay, and then we have this hover, and just make it slate. And then this is going to be, so in the dark, I just wanted to make it BG's lime, maybe 600. Okay, and hover, so you could also have like dark hover, so you say dark, and then we do hover, and we could also do lime still. Maybe here we just do like 700. We just like 700. Let's see how this looks like. Okay, so create category. This is just light mode, dark mode. Yep, this looks great. And as we said, padding is 3, px is okay. I just love this. Okay, so this one is much better. Now we could just go back to light mode, and then we have the black one. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the console to see if this works. Okay, you can see the responsive is really is cool. Now I just simply want to put back to responsive, and you can just now type in anything. Let's just say category title here, and let's say click save, and you can see we have it here. We have the title as category category title, so this is working properly, guys. Okay, so this is being tested, it is working properly. So now we just need to add in the description. So we're just going to add in the description, and just go to the side where we have our elements. So we have the text area input, this one. Okay, you can just take your time, guys, and go through these components. Okay, so we have the text area here. I'm just going to go ahead and create a text area. So I'm just going to form inputs text area input, the .jsx, and paste this, and let's see the name. It is text. Is it saying text input? This is text input. I just need text area. Text area input. This one. Okay, so the text area input, you can see it here, text in the or the same thing. Okay, and we don't need this type. I don't think this is why we have the type in this. Yep, there's no why we have type. So you're just going to go ahead and connect this in this side. Okay, just come here and just say text. I'm gonna make sure, so we have this, and then the submit button is outside. Is the submit button outside? I think so. For this one to code it, you just simply come here. I just left one for the usage. You can see here we can pass it in inside the form. Okay, you can just come here and we pass in this inside this div and just pass in this, and just import this, and then you have a category description just like that. Now let's see. Okay, so you can see now we have this category description. We have to modify the look the way we made for the other one. We have to do this for this one so that it looks elegant. So I'm just going to go to the text input. Okay, I'm just going to go to the text input, and then I will have these classes. So we changed a lot. I'm just going to simply copy this, some of these things here. I don't know if it has the same things. Okay, I'm just going to copy some of the all of them, then go and take them to this side of the text area, and I'm just going to paste these ones. So the ones which are similar, so it means it is almost having similar stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to take off these ones and paste this one. Let's see. Okay, so everything is okay now. We have this. Okay, and then we can save. And then in the dark mode, it looks like this. Let's change this title. So you can just go to the text input, and then you copy the label styles, the ones we gave to this label, and just only we added this. So I'm just going to copy that, and then we go text area, and then we go to this label. Okay, so now it is going to change to white. Yep, so now it looks great. So we still have the form looking great in the dark mode. Okay, so now we're just going to work. Now we can also put the placeholder, I think, here. It didn't have the placeholder, and I think we can have like a placeholder. Others we have placeholders. They just copy the same placeholder in the text input, just like this. Just like that, placeholder type, and then like the label, type the category description. Yeah, so this is great. Okay, so we have that, and we can just type in something here, a description. Let's go to this, and if you submit, you see you have the title and the description. So we have the data being picked very well, and then what is just remaining will be sending it. Okay, so what is remaining is now adding the image and the slug. So the slug, we can actually generate it. At this point, we can generate the slug. If you just go to this helper functions, so you can just first go back to this. I'm just going to go back to the document before. Just click here and go back to this document. Now you will see that we have a second document here under helper functions. Click that. There is a function we have which is saying generate slug, and is the first one. Okay, and the purpose is here, and I have written some notes. The generate slug function takes in a title as the input and generates a slug, suitable for URLs by performing a series of string transformations. And here is the breakdown of the steps of what this function is doing, and the function is here. Okay, so simply copy this function, and let's go to the libs. So we just have to have a lib folder, and then inside this lib folder, just simply create the generate slug .js. Then inside, paste this code. Okay, and this code, I explained it in here. You can just see like this one converts it to lowercase, replace a space with dashes, like that. So you're also going to use this function in here. So you're just going to come here and say slug. Inside the data, this on submit function, just going to say const slug is equal to generate slug. So you can just say generate slug from the libs, and then takes in a title, which is data.title. Okay, so after getting the slug, when we can add it in the data, so you can say data.slug is equal to slug. Okay, so just go ahead and console the data. So just go back to this. We have the data there and the description. Let's go to the console, and I can clear everything here, and let's submit. So now we have the description, and then we have the slug, and you can see it picked the category title, and it converted it into a URL friendly stuff, and this is the slug. So the slug will be automatically generated. We don't have to worry about it. Okay, so that's great. We have done this part. Now in the second part, we are going to work on the image component. So this will be transformed to all of these other ones. Then I'm just going to work on the image component. In the next video, we're going to configure the image. While we use upload thing, we'll configure the image, and then we shall start using it in our project. Okay, thank you so much for watching this episode. However much I did not have enough energy, but we managed to reach at the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.